Hey, folks, this is Lonzo, the Godfather of West Coast hip hop, and with my man who is on the other line from the East Coast. We call him the Doctor. What's up, Dr. Dre? Man, I'm doing fantastic. How you feeling today? Okay. Yeah, I know your phone probably bringing up the hook right about now as far as interview requests, ain't they? Yeah, they've been wearing my ass out too, Doc. I didn't do so many damn interviews. I'm tired of talking. Yes. I tried to hang in there for a while, but I was doing a party for the mayor this morning and couldn't hang in there, Doc. Okay. All right. Yes, she did. Oh, there she goes. Yeah, there you go. Back up. You two look like a giant right now. Back up. Yes, but anyway, yeah, man, it was a sound like it was a back up a little bit at the camera. Um, it looked like a great show. What I heard, it sounded great. I uh, I had some seniors I had to rock this morning, and I enjoy doing that, man. It's amazing how people who are old enough to be your grandmama, or probably who are some grandmamas and great grandmamas, party harder than a lot of these youngsters do, man. Dude, dude,
You got Dre
uh,
on?
yo, I was
I can't
partying
hear
this.
him.
Okay, hold on there. I I came in this morning. I walked in and they had me playing jazz, oldies and stuff like that. And man, I played a couple of songs. This thing, I know the floor was packed. I'm like, what the hell? I did what shit?
But wait. How did that make you feel when
That
you
made
played them joints?
man, that made me feel fantastic, Doc. Because I wouldn't.
There you go.
I'm sitting there. I'm like, I'm gonna, play some little walking in music. Man, I dropped a couple of songs. They never touched their chairs. They went straight to the doggone dance floor.
What'd you drop? What were the songs?
Man,
What were the songs? Come on. Come on, player.
It was mostly a line dance group. So I dropped I'll Be Around by the Spinners. And I wasn't expecting, I was just, sit down and kick it. Man, they jumped on the floor. And then I played some Al Green and some other stuff, man. And it was like, shit, I thought at one point I might have to call the ambulance or something because they was on the floor. And I know damn well everybody here is 70 years old plus, okay? And they just was doing their thing, man. They danced the whole time. And it just made me feel good to play to a crowd that know how to party, man. It was broad daylight, wasn't no lights, wasn't no weed in the room, no Hennessy, no nothing, just a little Ben Gay from time to time, and some high blood pressure pills. But shit, I cracking the joke.
With that?
Yeah, I told them get the paramedics on standby in case somebody pop one. But hey, they had a good time, and they do this. And the lady that danced the most. Here's the crazy part: the lady that danced the most, she's kind of the leader. Told me she was 81 years old. Okay.
Bless her.
She danced literally every record, even when I was playing in between while they were doing announcements and they were doing their announcements, whatever. She's standing there just constantly moving. I'm like, whatever you take, with the Geritol, Ensure, whatever it is, can I get a shot? Okay. Whatever it is you own, can I please get some of that? And she was crowded. Line dancers can't sit down. And it was crazy because when a couple of people asked, play some oldies. I'm the oldie king. I love playing oldies. I played the oldies. Said, that's cool now. That's okay now. You got to pick it back up.
Tell
That's
us
too
what
slow.
you played. Don't just say oldie.
man.
What did you play?
And I'm talking about old school R&B and soul music. I'm not talking about no old school hip hop. I'm
But
talking.
say what the
I
songs
dropped
are, bro.
Temptation, Beauty Only Skin Deep,
Thank you.
backed up with the girls all right with me. Then I hit them back with
Yes.
then they asked for some Daz by Brick, and I'm like, huh? Okay, cool.
Oh,
Here it come. And I dropped some of that. Then they gave me their list. I hit their list come from their music list come from all type of genres. And this dude named Tucker, he had some songs that was bomb. They was good at. I never heard before in my life. I do it out of the South. I never heard it before in my life. But I'm gonna add his music to my doggone SB USB drive, USB drive, because it was some good shit. Wherever he's from, look like he was from the country, okay, from down south. I don't know where he's from, but he has some nice grooves. He wasn't a bad singer. He looked like he might have been hip hop, but he was singing R&B. And a couple of tracks he had Dougie Fresh on the track. Had Dougie Fresh rocking with him also. And just made for a nice party, man. But I didn't.
It was a nice, pleasant.
What I did realize is though, different line dancers can be segregated just like any other group. Because one group got a little upset because I'm playing all the music from one group. I don't know that y'all not together. Y'all got your own music to your own line dancers. So I'm like, oh, no wonder y'all jaws is tight. Because I ain't play. Because one girl gave me the music somebody I knew gave me her music, and I'm playing from that list. Okay, of course I'm playing the typical line dance songs, Casper Slide, Wobble, blah blah blah, and they cool with that. But they got some special dances they do to special songs that the other group don't rock with. And
so could you give us some of those quick?
The songs that they don't rock with, well, the songs they do rock with was something by Grover Washington. Okay.
Mr. Magic?
No, it wasn't
Was it
Mr.
Mr. Magic?
No. It was something else.
Was it Oh, wait a minute.
I took a picture of it because it was on my phone. I got to download it and put it in my queue for next time. I took a picture of the whole thing. Let me see what it is. I'll tell you what it is in just a second.
But you got to tell us the songs, man. That's
the songs they was rocking with. This dude named Tucker, Till the Sun Comes Up, Till the Sun by Tucker, Summer, Pieces of a Dream, Fever Swing,
really?
Pieces of a Dream. All these songs, they albums. I never heard them on the radio, but somebody dug them up. And I noticed one thing. That's one thing I learned about. One thing I learned about line dancers. They dig into crates and they go through all the cuts. I got line dancers turn me on to Wale.
Get out of here.
Line dancers turned me on to Wale. I'm DJing a line dance party one day, this years ago, and they played Wale, Keep Giving It Up, whatever it was. And they rocking to it. I heard the song, I said, damn, he rapping. Man, I wouldn't add him to my playlist. Shaggy, they got a cut by Shaggy, Keep It Real. Shaggy, they had them going. In this group by Odyssey by Last Night. I mean, these are just 5 of the songs that they gave me to play.
Odyssey made You're a Native New Yorker and quite a few hits.
Yeah.
Odyssey, Odyssey.
So they digging in the crates and they making up these dances. And like I said before, if you don't know, you got to understand all the clicks and to flow with it. I'm a player, so I'm gonna make it happen. So anyway, Doc, it was an interesting afternoon.
That was great. Congratulations. Like I said, we had a good morning this morning, and I'm gonna let Bernadette introduce and say Melissa and her group, the Think Tank. Miss Bernadette, could you tell everybody a little bit about that?
Let's see. The think Indigo Think Tank is a think tank about not just typically getting out there just doing things, but thinking kind of like with a conscious thinking and with the value of music and entertainment and people like yourself, you and Lonzo, you and Dre and everything, and what y'all are talking about. Basically, the essence of how y'all speak and talk and think probably landed us right there where we are with Melissa. And Melissa, who I surround myself with geniuses and whatnot. So I got to be better prepared with it because I've been with hanging out with the You Think Indigo Tank for a while. And like I said, it's just a matter of thinking differently and not thinking about what you used to do, what you are doing versus who you are. I would like something that Melissa said, which I would love when she said, "There's no way somebody could say that was back then with history when you can't take history and erase it because that's what it is. That's the essence of what it is, you know. And I've said that to people before. You can't erase the history books. She didn't use the history books, but I use that as you can't erase the history books. Like people want to compare Michael Jackson to Usher, and it's almost nearly impossible. But when you think about who you
Well, it
are
doesn't make
or
sense.
who I
It
be,
doesn't make sense.
yeah, yeah,
You
yeah,
can't
it doesn't
compare
make
Michael
sense.
Jackson
So
to
think
James
of
Brown.
just be
It doesn't make
yeah.
sense.
No,
Or you go,
no.
who's better, Michael
So
or
it's
Prince?
a
You
matter of
can't.
people thinking like B. Yeah, that's
Mhm.
the way y'all are, I
But
believe. I
I
think
wanted,
y'all that way. You are. You can't argue. Look at how we speak about 50 years of hip hop.
well,
It's
I question that
that's
still to this
right.
day, but that's another topic. But I wanted to thank you for the Melissa introduction and the room they had today that welcomed me to their fold and welcoming Legendary Connects in their fold and all the great things we're going to do together. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm just very enthusiastic and excited about it. And there's just so it's just like I said, today was a great day of a lot of great things, and there was some tragedy we had today.
Sure.
We lost the one and only Jerry Springer. Jerry, at 79 years of age to pancreatic cancer. So people out there, please get your health checked out, especially if you're up there, past the 50 mark. You know, it doesn't hurt to go see your doctor 2 or 3 times a year just to make sure you're functioning well. Get the endocrinologist in there because it's very important your health. But we lost a legend in our time because I remember when Jerry Springer first started. Matter of fact, Ed and I went on to the show, and we were there with members of the Ku Klux Klan, and we had a roaring time with Jerry. And Jerry was on our show, and he was a very nice man, very interesting. He was the ringmaster, and we're gonna miss him. We're gonna miss him. But for those who didn't know Jerry, you can watch the reruns. They're all over the place. Jerry Springer was a great person. Another person we lost today was a woman that everyone, I should say a large majority of people from Mississippi down near Bernadette, supposedly the one and only Emmett Till said something to her and caused his demise. She passed away. And supposedly her book is going to come out in 13 years. So she's going to tell the real story of what happened because she always claimed that it wasn't me, I didn't do it, and this, that, and the other. But Emmett Till has been gone a long time. Who knows what he would have done? And those people that caused his demise, they got to live long lives. I just never can understand that. Never can understand it. But we got a lot to work on, folks.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we
So
do.
so I gotta ask the big question.
And
There's two questions I
the
got
late
today.
great
Ooh. What you said,
Harry
Bernadette?
Belafonte.
Oh yeah, Barry Belafonte.
I was
Bernadette,
gonna
I was
say
going there. I was going there. I was going there. That
Bernadette,
was
you didn't
my
change
question.
houses again. See, you ain't in the same room you was in last time. You got choppy on me.
no.
It's an upgrade.
No,
I'm choppy now.
she in the den now. See, she's someplace else. Wherever she was last two shows had a much better connection because now you moving like a what you call them damn
Uh-oh.
not etch a sketch, but what them damn Disney gizmos, real choppy.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
now that Bernadette brought
I
it
might
up,
need to leave out and
let's
come back in.
mm,
Go back to the sugar daddy
well
room.
let's
Go back to the sugar daddy room.
go
I'm
go
trying.
go get the honey. Go get the honey.
Okay.
Hurry back. We'll be waiting on you.
But we have to do a big shout out to the Belafonte family because we lost Harry Belafonte, entertainer, activist, civil rights leader, um, extreme intellect on all fronts. A man at 96 years young showed us the way to do it as he day-oed.
All that singing shit.
And Matilda,
leave that alone.
Oh,
leave
yeah.
that alone. Leave that alone. That's not your thing.
What are you talking about?
That's not your thing, dude.
What are you talking
That's not your shit.
I just did day-oed. What are you talking about?
Okay. You done tried to sing twice in one show. Leave that shit alone.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Go
Okay.
ahead. Do your thing.
He was one of the first solo artists to sell over 1 million records before Elvis Presley ever did it or anyone else. Harry Belafonte introduced Calypso music to the mainstream and was a huge superstar. He starred in movies like Carmen Jones, starred in movies like Uptown Saturday Night.
As Get Your Damn
Buford.
Get Your Damn Buford. I watched that show the day,
man.
The
Preacher. Yeah, that's Harry Belafonte. And he was one of these people that didn't just talk it, he walked the walk. He paid for babysitters for Martin Luther King's children when they had to be out there trying to raise awareness of our civil rights campaigns and equal rights. I met the man twice in his life. I met his daughter a few other times. Extraordinary human being. Can't be replaced.
I never met him before, but I know anytime I want to relax, I go grab my my vape pen and watch Uptown Saturday Night, or Let's Do It Again, and that just relaxes me to no end.
There it is. Buck and the Preacher.
Buford.
Get Your Damn Buford. Carmen Jones. Please, if you can, just go check it out. Movies are important sometimes. Gives us a little history of where we came from and where we're going. One of the first persons to have a what do you call it? It was a late night talk show. Well, there was a Tonight Show on Harry Belafonte. He had.
Yeah, I remember seeing that
one too.
Seeing that on. I think I saw it because he was sitting in for Johnny Carson or something like that. And he had all the brothers on there. Had all the brothers.
He
had
Dr. Martin Luther King on, and he had not RFK, Bobby Kennedy on before they were assassinated in 1968.
Somebody just Antoine Austin said that he was behind making a hip hop movie, Beat Street.
Yes, he was. That's when I first met him.
I didn't
know that. Was the first time I met him. Harry Belafonte was instrumental in making Beat Street.
I never knew that. You learned something today.
Music.
That's why we Legendary Connect, folks.
Native New Yorker, born and raised in Harlem. Parents from the West Indian, from Jamaica. I can't do it. I'm sorry.
That shit long, man. Leave that long.
That's it. No Dale. Can I do Matilda? Not T-Liga? No Matilda.
There you go. That bullshit. You trying to see? That's not your lane.
Anyway.
Trust me. That's not your lane.
Yo, I can sing, brother. Let's not go there right now.
Not your lane.
My voice may be messy, but bottom line is, it's been tragedy. It's been enjoyable days and pleasurable days, and we got so much to do. But my one question to start things off with you, Lonzo.
Go for it.
Should Joe Biden, at 82 years of age, run again for United States president?
Okay.
Do you think his age is that deep a factor?
His age, not so much. His health is more important than his age. If his age says he can handle it, I got to roll with it. It beats the alternative. Okay. If his faculties are all in order, and he passed the cognitive test, and his no Alzheimer's, no dementia, he can still get up and down the White House steps and still can deliver a good speech, and not not make decisions hastily. Yeah, I had to go with that one, man, because your boy Donnie Boy is going to run again, and the polls say if they go head up, Joe got him again.
Joe got him.
So if Joe running is going to keep us from having Donnie back in the White House, I got to go with the dude. I got to go with old Joe.
I was having a conversation with an extreme Trump supporter, voted for him twice, was telling me like, oh, Trump's the man. Trump did this. Trump. I said, oh, great. I said, do me one favor. And he said, what? Tell me one thing he did for you that made your life better. And then he started thinking and looking in the sky and trying to figure it out. I said, tell me. Oh, well, the inflation. I said, well, Biden has cut the inflation in half. But the unemployment, lowest unemployment in over 43 years. Oh, I said, well, where do you get your facts from? Where do you get your facts from? And he couldn't come up with anything. I said, you got all that technology in the palm of your hand, and you don't check your facts? Or you just go by whatever anybody's doing and putting a cardboard sign on the paper on lawns, and that's your facts?
He get his facts from Tucker Carlson. That's why Tucker Carlson last got fired.
I was about to go there next, but
that's why Tucker got fired, because his ass been lying. He's been lying to people for the past 8 years on Fox News, and this lies and cost him almost $1 billion, and God knows what else. And I'm like, okay, there you go, dude. But I don't know. Go ahead.
I think they had 787 million reasons.
That damn $1 billion.
Why they have to let him go?
That's a big ass check, right? Big check out of me. You might run out of income. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, how do you sit down without crying like $787 million? Who carries that check?
I don't know.
Or how do they wire that over? Or is that in cryptocurrency?
That money. You don't write that check. You just go on and type it in the computer and push send and just make the transfer. Yeah, right. Yeah. You know.
And keep shaking your head.
Yeah. Lonzo, you're right on the money about Uptown and Let's Do It Again. Do you know Vlad interviewed John Amos and didn't ask one question about making Let's Do It Again? Shaking my head. That's my boy Eric Riley. Man, you know what, dude?
Because he doesn't know who John Amos is.
He don't know.
He doesn't know that John Amos is Kunta Kinte. He didn't know that John Amos, beside Good Times, was on the Mary Tyler Moore Show first. He doesn't know that John Amos was in Let's Do It Again because he did not know. Why do I know that? Because I know Vlad. I know why Vlad does what he does. I respect it. God bless him. But I don't always agree.
But you know what?
Basically, it's the Tucker Carlson story.
You know what? It's one thing to have an audience of people that you can impress with your knowledge if they don't know nothing. Yeah, okay. And I see that a lot in hip hop. I see that a lot in the current state of hip hop. A lot of people who don't know anything, older people can impress younger people with fictitious knowledge because they don't know. They have no reason to compare. They don't know nothing. So if Vlad's audience is not aware that John Amos was on Good Times or in Let's Do It Again or any of those other movies you just mentioned or TV shows you just mentioned, they won't know the acts. He ain't got the acts because they won't know the acts no way. And it's the same thing I see with hip hop. You can't, some people that you're talking to, they can't question what you're saying because they have no references. Okay. And this is why so much misinformation gets out when it comes to hip hop, politics, and anything else. If you don't know shit, ain't nothing you can put shit up against. Okay.
And that's why people are walking around talking about this is the 50th anniversary of hip hop, but no one can state why. Oh, because Kool Herc did a party in the Bronx in August for his sister in the projects.
I'm gonna let you have that one today. I'm gonna let you have all of it today because I'm not gonna get into that's an East Coast debate. West Coast gonna leave that alone.
Whoa.
Because I'm not. Again, I don't coastwise it.
Well, no.
Remember, let me explain.
Go ahead. No. I'm just saying because we came in on another level, and we're gonna celebrate whatever the popular date is, but. Like I said, not saying we're different. We just have a different recognition of when we discovered hip hop, how we discovered hip hop. So it's no disrespect to anybody. It's just California or the West Coast had a little different introduction to hip hop. That's all. And I can't debate that.
If you were in the room this morning with me, you would have heard me give homage and praise to what you did with the World Class Wrecking Crew and the other Dr. Dre with Surgery and Turn Off the Lights. And the LA Dream Team and the Egyptian Lover.
You said Egyptian Prince. I heard that part. It was Egyptian Prince.
Yeah, I get what I said. I had it right.
You got it
but
right.
My point was, people want to try to always say, "Oh, it's me." Yeah, it was you, and it was you, and it was you, and it was one you. Everybody had their part, and everybody embraced it the way they did it. So I know there was Breaking One and Two with Ice-T and Boogaloo Shrimp and Company. God bless. I mean, all those factors
Always.
made what we call hip hop culture. Period. Because in the beginning, when you break it down, it was called rap music, and that's why I had to give Melissa credit because she kept saying rap music, and the hip hop part of it was the culture, the b-boying, the breaking, the MCing, the turntables, and the graffiti. All of those elements created hip hop culture. So without further ado, you're right. We, being the Legendary Connects, have to start bringing people up to speed and bring the history to life.
That's y'all
And
job.
let people explain their stories, and we just gotta let it be told here.
You
That's what
know,
we gotta do.
speaking of telling stories, tomorrow, last week I had the pleasure of meeting Sway for the first time in my life. Okay,
Get out of
I
here.
never met Sway before in my life. Okay,
Get out of here.
I don't know Sway. I will meet.
I've known Sway longer than you. Sway and Tech, DJ Tech.
Yes,
Get out of
I was
here.
invited to be on Sway's show in the morning. Tomorrow morning, I'll be there live on Sway show. Sway in the morning tomorrow. He sent me. He asked me when I come on the show. I said most definitely. His assistant sent me the invite. I confirmed, and I will be there tomorrow morning, Friday, February 28th. I mean, not February, April 28th.
Get it
With
right.
in the morning.
Kill it.
In the morning. My name has been dropped on this show several times. My name, Ice Cube, dropped my name on the show. A few other people dropped my name on the show, but we never had. I've been trying to get to him for quite some time. But everybody, here's the fun. Everybody said, I can get you on Sway show. Nobody has done that. But after I got it, after I met Sway and talked to him personally, then one of the guys that said he could get me on the show, I guess he heard I was coming on the show. Oh yeah, I got you on Sway. No, you didn't.
Oh.
No, you didn't. I
But
met Sway myself.
that's hip hop revisionist history. That's what happens.
That's
Yeah.
classic.
You know, and
That's why people don't like talking to me.
that's why, and that's why sometimes I get upset because, dude, I was invited back to his speech. He did a presentation at Santa Monica College, and I said, because I just did they had a big hip hop history month thing there, Santa Monica College. I did a screening for my documentary, Compton Love, and I went up there specifically to meet Sway. Okay, and after he got through speaking, he came to the stage. And me and clientele were there together, and we got introduced. And he was happy to meet me, and I was happy to meet him. Man, I'd love to have you on the show. Would you come? I said, you got it, dude. And we exchanged personal numbers right then and there, and it's locked in. It's locked in. You know,
Boom.
it's locked in. So tomorrow morning, I'll be up at 6 o'clock in the morning, headed to the studio to be ready to rock with Sway in the morning.
Oh, he's doing the show from out near you.
He's in LA. He's in LA this week. He's in LA this week.
Oh, okay, great.
So
Perfect.
I'll be rocking with him.
And tell everybody where they can listen to that show. Is that the one on Sirius XM?
Sirius XM. I'll be at the Sirius XM radio station show tomorrow. Sway in the morning. I know he also does it on YouTube as well. So we'll be there, folks. Making it happen.
Well, talk to him and tell him if he can get on Legendary Connects with us in the month of May when we get everything up and running. We'd love to have. I'd love to have Sway.
Okay.
That's
I
pretty cool.
definitely will extend the invitation to him. That's for sure. So yeah, folks, it's going down. It's been a busy week. Like I said, I've done more interviews this week than I have in a long time. I mean, long interviews. And usually, and here's funny. Here's something funny. I love doing interviews. I just don't like doing documentaries. Why do you say that, Lonzo? Because the people that do interviews, they want the truth. Documentaries will rearrange shit for their benefit. And here's the problem for me with documentaries. Everybody behind the camera is getting paid to be there. They don't want to pay the people in front of the camera.
Yes, true.
If you and I don't do free documentaries no more. If I don't sit in front of this camera, you ain't got nothing to record. Okay, now you can go cock one of them fraudulent cats you want to. There's a bunch of perpetrating, cats that tell you if you don't know shit, they will impress you like they invented hip hop by themselves. But if you want somebody that got some stripes and credentials and a pedigree, you got to talk to certain people. Okay, and I'm one of them people, and I just don't talk for free no more. I might go. I've done it enough in the past, and I find out, oh yeah, man. So then they talk. Oh yeah, we had to pay him X amount of dollars. You did it what? And you offered me? Oh no. So anyway, I just had to vent on that a little bit, folks. Just the Bernadette, you moving real good right now. Wherever that room is, the sugar they got that internet, the sugar daddy internet, it works better. It's still a little choppy, but it's much better than what it was.
Okay. If it works,
that must be
like a robot.
That must be the room, huh?
Okay.
That's the freaky room right there. That's for y'all be internet. That's the only fan. That's the only fans room. Only fans room, honey. I know that is. Go ahead.
That was AI. Ain't no more OnlyFans. AI now. I wouldn't me.
You not even you no more, huh?
No, nope. Like R. Kelly's fake concert out there with AI.
What fake concert?
Hey, you know what that new AI, artificial intelligence, people have created and people don't know. Like you said, people don't know that damn R. Kelly is not having a concert. So with AI, somebody created a whole concert of all of R. Kelly wearing orange, and everybody in his audience at his concerts wearing orange. He's having a concert, and some of these people out there believe that the man having concerts in prison.
I've been seeing this on the internet. I said, how the fuck you go? It must do a concert. It must be some work release program shit. Nah, no. Work release, let's see out. But you know what? This AI.
Well, I was about to bring us into AI, and then I want to talk about Ed Sheeran and Marvin Gaye's "Let's Get It On." You heard about that little lawsuit?
Yeah, I saw that. I checked it out. That's a good song. It's close, but I don't see. I see the resemblance, but you only got 12 notes on the goddamn keyboard and so many different melodies. Go ahead, Doc.
And progressions. I think Ed Sheeran, you're going to be taking the L for that one. It's identical, bro. It just is. That reminds me of when what's the name did the same thing with
homeboy
Blurred Lines.
Yeah,
Blurred Lines. Robin Harris. Robin Thicke, and what's the name? Here it is. What it is. We've been listening to this music for so long. It's going to influence you in a certain way. Now, when technology came around, and as DJs, MCs in rap music, we sampled. Yes, we did. Some people tried to recreate, but it's just a natural thing. But Ed Sheeran, you copied. Let's get it on. You did. It's whether you call it a natural progression. You weren't alive when Marvin put out "Let's Get It On."
Yeah.
So you can't go back and say, "Oh, well, I'm influenced by it, but this is so different." Then you do a mashup live on stage, doing both. Come on, man, dude, just write the check. Just write the same way Puffy writes the check to Sting for "I'll be missing you."
No,
because
Puffy just stole that. He just straight stole that.
Yeah, and then Sting said, "Thank you so much."
Was it 5,000 a day? Was it 5,000 a day?
2,000 or 5,000? One of the two.
5,000 a day, but the song plays on the radio so often he just has to write a check out for it.
Puffy don't write a check. It comes from being mild. He does that. Yeah, he got a point.
But the sad thing about it is, did Mrs. Wallace or Christopher Wallace's children, or did Faith, are they getting a check for that song? That's the big question.
That's a good question.
Like this fan told me from a Facebook, a hip hop fan told me, of course they are. They always do that.
No.
Hip hop, this is what a fan told me. They take care of people in hip hop.
Bullshit.
That as I said in that room, I wrote the song "Proud to Be Black" by Run DMC. I have to chase down Russell Simmons and Rick Rubin to get a check.
Dude, so ain't nobody trying to cut no check if they don't have to. Okay, if you ain't got a lawyer on your team, the record business is the most crooked business in the world. Motherfucker, know he owe you money and won't pay you.
I have a team of lawyers right now, and it has nothing to do personally with anybody. I just like the Proud to be paid. And if they say, "Well, you didn't write the whole thing," I wrote the whole thing.
My next
phone call
after this interview is with my music attorney so we can get some of my shit straight. Trust me. If you don't go get your money, they're not gonna give it to you. They hope it. They like niggas. They hope you forgot about it. No, they owe you some money and hope you forgot about it. Yeah, if you don't ask for it, they ain't gonna give it to you.
Right.
Russell,
we need this clip right here because I was trolling Hip Hop World Star and I met a fan that said that, and I was just trolling the fan because the fan was like, "You don't know what the fuck you know about that." We Hip Hop always take care of their legends. They're legends, and I was like, "Really?"
Hip hop took after the regular, the standard procedures of the normal record business in so many cases. If you don't ask for your money or got somebody on your team going to get your money, they're not going to mail you the check.
And not giving you a check.
They'll send you the small ones, the 200s, the 300s.
Oh yeah.
When you get into 5 figures, you get into 5 or 6 figures. Shit, they're not trying to understand the music business. Understand this right here. The music business is not only about music, it's about money investment. If you have an artist that sells multiple millions of dollars worth, millions of records in a short period of time, say somebody go platinum in 20 days, 10 days, okay? You ain't got to pay them for 6 months. You already gave them an advance in the first place. So you ain't got to pay them for 6 months. So you can take that money that you've collected from all those record stores, all those distributors, and stick it into a money market account, stick it into the stock market, or whatever the case may be. Make money on that money, and then you only owe them a portion of the money when it comes due. Because in the record business, you don't never get 100% of your money. If you even today in contracts, they still hold for what they call reserves. Reserves was used back in the day because the record industry is the only industry you know of that is 100% returnable, which means if I get records from you and if they don't sell, I get to send them all back. You got to give me credit for 100% credit. That was fine in the album and even the CD days, but in the vinyl days. But nowadays, shit ain't coming back. How you gonna turn a digital file? And then you ain't buying shit. You're just streaming it.
Here's the thing. Some people say, well, Dre, your statute of limitations will probably run out. No, they don't. Because guess what? As being super bad, a blind amputee, a type 2 diabetic, is a thing called personal injury that you can sue for someone's lifetime. You can sue their estate and win. That's just the way it is. Because my name is on that record. Your name is on that record. I'm coming to you. You got to prove that you didn't get paid from Profile Records. Because the thing is, that record still sells today. That's the thing about music. And I was telling the story earlier about a movie called Saturday Night Fever. Mm-hmm. It was made for under $2 million. To date, that movie's grossed over $8 billion and continues on. The soundtrack has sold well over 100 million copies. Kool and the Gang, the Tramps, and all those other groups get the Bee Gees. No, the Bee Gees get the largest royalty from that. No, Donna Summer wasn't in the soundtrack.
Okay, my bad.
She wasn't on that song. Donna Summer was on Thank God It's Friday.
Okay, right.
Which still sells records.
Right.
It still sells records. It's still imprinted. It's still in the digital world. So those royalty checks go out. Like Irene Cara recently passed away, who was the theme song from Fame, and what was the name of that movie? The dance movie with Jennifer Beals.
Oh, Flashdance.
Flashdance. What a Feeling. Her checks are ridiculous. Because even though you might sell a big, like 20 million in the first 2-3 weeks, your money comes, but you got to stay on top of these folks.
Right.
So I got a little team of lawyers together, and they said, oh, no, Dr. Dre. All these people that sampled your Pump That Bass, can you feel it? Acknowledge me? And that sound you made, well, they better get a checkbook ready, or they got to prove they paid me. And I know they didn't pay me. So
135 times
on the mountain when we come. And that's just the way it is. That's just the way it is. And believe me, a lot of folks out there who sampled and sold millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of records, they all get hit when the original artist comes back and says, "I need my money." Because when Hammers took Can't Touch This,
Yeah.
and took Rick James' song, Rick James was pissed off. Then he got the check.
They got them check.
He got that check. Oh, that's not bad.
Check this out. Check this out. The house that I live in became vacant because the owner of the house was an old music producer. His name was Johnny Otis. Type him up. Look him up. Johnny Otis. Johnny Otis was the king of soul, or king of R&B. No, godfather of R&B or something like that back in the day. Okay. And he got rich off of Back to the Future. Michael J. Fox movie with the DeLorean and the electric and the going 80 miles, whatever it was.
Yeah.
He in that movie, he had 3 or 4. He had a bunch of songs in the soundtrack and on the album. Okay. When he got his check, he said, "You know what? Like Jed Clampett, I'm out of here. I'm going to buy me a house, buy me a mansion in Altadena." And we met one time. Okay. And when he went out, he left the house. He left abandoned everything. His studio still was intact when I moved into this house. His check was that fat. Okay, it was that fat. He forgot to put the house up for sale. Only reason why I bought the house was because Etta James, who lived around the corner from me, told me about the price. Because she recorded over here. She knew Johnny got the money. She said, "Johnny, house been vacant for almost a year. You need to buy that house." I'm like, "Huh? Yeah, I didn't know Johnny Otis." This is the kind of stuff. This is his music. This was in 85, 86. His songs came out in the 50s.
Wow.
Still getting checks.
Johnny Otis was the shit in the 50s.
Back to the Future.
He was the shit in the 50s because the music, the movie that he was in was set in the 50s. They needed original music. They needed original music
with the guitar and everything. Yeah.
When he was doing the guitar and he kept on fading and shit like that. Yes.
Yep.
Same thing. So this is why I'm so protective of my shit. Okay, 1984, they gonna need some 84 shit. They ain't got, for whatever reason. I did one deal with Snowfall, and one of my songs was in Snowfall. I had three of them that were up for Snowfall, and only one of them made it. But that's gonna be an era. It's gonna be very hot. So at some point in time, the 90s, the 2000s, the 2020s, all that's gonna be relevant. And people are going to need original music. And if you have original music, some people try to sidestep you by recreating, and they ain't the same. If you watch Soul Train, I think it's BET, the Train or whatever it is, but they talked about how Soul Train, a lot of those songs, they tried to recreate them because they couldn't get the licensing for them. Because in order to make that episode legitimate, they're going to hit you over the head, okay? You're talking about a minimum 25, 30 racks per episode. They ain't got them kind of budgets. A lot of them BET shows don't have them budgets. So if you watch that movie, I forgot what it's called. Was it Soul Train or something like that?
I don't know.
It was a television show about Soul Train, and it was
on BET. It
was on
BET. I know
BET.
what you're talking about. It was like a documentary style,
right?
But they did like a recreation of it,
right? And most of the
my song "Knowledge
for
Me"
a while.
My song "Knowledge Me" is in Power.
Is it?
Yes, it is.
Where?
They play Knowledge Me. In one of the episodes, somebody told me, said, "Yo, man, I just heard Knowledge Me in Power." I said, "What?" Dug it up. It's in Power. So that's why I said I had to go get myself a team.
Who controls the master on that?
It's really through Def Jam and Universal.
Who controls the publisher?
But again, I technically got my publishing back because it's been over 30 years.
Right.
So that's what I said. I got my team of lawyers. We're about to go state claim on a lot of stuff that people just think that I just forgot about. Or, Dre's so sick he don't know. No, Dre knows. Dre's been around, especially when you understand your music business stuff. And like Alonzo said, a lot of those songs from back in those days, when you go to recreate or they make these movies about those days in that fashion, you either going to get a license deal or you got to recreate it.
My cousin is Lenny Williams.
You mean
I tell you about that singing thing, man. You can sound like two goddamn seals. Shut the fuck up. His and her seal in a mating call. I was talking to him. He said he was doing small shows and he was working at a hardware store or something like that. He said he was, he wasn't doing a whole lot. And Kanye sampled his shit. And he said his wife tracked him down. He was at work or something like that. And he says, she said, babe, you all right? She said, I'm fine. Are you sitting down? She said, I can't be. What you need? You need to sit down. Everything okay? The kids all right? Everything is fine. He said his wife told him about, called him and said, you got to be in my check here for like $177,000 off of Kanye's shit. Okay. He said he ain't went back to work since then.
Wow.
And that one sample, Kanye did it, and I think Kanye used a song, and I think somebody else used it. Another Southern rapper used it, and between them two cats, changed his whole life. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yes. I got a question. So y'all with the Boys in the Hood song, how does that go?
What about it?
Y'all with the Boys in the Hood song, right?
You
and Dre both on the Boys in the Hood song.
I know what Boys in the Hood song.
Which one you talking about? The one from N.W.A. With Dre and them sampled Knowledge Me and
Fuck Out. And I thought you said that was you.
That wasn't me.
That's not.
No, that wasn't Lonzo. That was Easy and Dre. Oh,
there you go.
Me, Ruthless Records.
Yeah,
Ruthless Records. We'll be coming round the mountain when we come. That's what's going to happen. A lot of folks are going to get that knock on the door.
Too. But okay.
Technotronic.
That's just your word.
Technotronic actually sampled my voice for Pump That Bass. Same thing with Eric B and Rakim. Used in the remix. Used, chicka pump that bass. That's my voice. Can't do that. So that's what I said. I got myself a team of lawyers, and in 2024, we're gonna do what's necessary. Even Lil Wayne rhymed directly over Pump That Bass. We're gonna do what's necessary.
Lil Wayne, he does that a lot, don't he? He samples a lot, didn't he? Didn't he sample a lot? Lil Wayne.
A lot of people sampled, and you know what? I have no problem with you sampling. I sampled, and if people come after me, I gotta pay. But I gotta get paid to get paid.
Right.
See, and the thing is, what most people don't realize, like when you put out singles, like when I put out singles with Def Jam on the Columbia deal, we sold a ton of records that they never said, "Oh yeah, you did." But I had to fight for that because we put out 3 singles to get to our album. You cannot put out 3 singles if you ain't selling records. You're not gonna do it. And we did. And no matter what we sold on an album, I can pretty much figure at this point, our album may be gold. But you gotta go fight them and say, what is it? Oh no, we haven't sold. How do you know in the digital world? How many people call us on this show? Trey, can you sign to cover your album? I got your album back so-and-so way. Whether you like it or dislike it, you don't know. That's why I always say, Weird Al Yankovic, whether you like him or you don't like him, has sold 60 to 75 million records. That I'm Fat and all those Michael Jackson covers he did and satires, he sold a ton of records. Tons of records.
So what's your point?
Get yourself your lawyers and be going around the mountain.
Check this out. No. What Weird Al Yankovic did was he just recreated the master. He still got to pay the publishing, and he may have to pay some writers depending on who wrote what. Okay, and that's
he got permission from Michael Jackson,
right,
famously, and because Michael said, "Go ahead."
Well, no,
because he liked what Weird Al Yankovic was doing.
That's not the problem. What I'm saying is, if you use the lyrics, sometimes depending on who the writer of the song is, sometimes if the person who wrote the music is different from the person who wrote the song, okay, your publishing, your writer's credits may be minimized. Okay, if you totally reproduce a song and you use new lyrics. Some cases you can get the writer's credit. You may still have to give a percentage of it because it's still technically my song. But I know with Master P, when he redid Ice Cream Man, he got half. He got 25% of the writers. I got 50% of the publishing, and 50% of the writers. Yeah, so he got 25. He got I got 50 and 50. Yeah, so yeah. But again,
well, for Proud to Be Black, original concept wrote lyrics and music because I did the music. Rapper G wrote the lyrics, and the deal we had to make to keep the record on, keep the song on the album was bogus. So again, it's how you go after these clowns. Is how come you can say, oh, statute of limitations rolled out. No, it didn't. Because if you steal something from Bach, Beethoven, and those folks, their heirs come after you. When Walter Murphy did a fifth of Beethoven, their heirs went after him. And again, another song on the soundtrack for Saturday Night Fever. Huge song. Another song that's so ridiculous about as a single and on that album. Kool and the Gang could retire off of Open Sesame on Saturday Night Fever. The Tramps, Disco Inferno, and More Than a Woman on that soundtrack. Huge songs. Huge songs. And the Bee Gees had to pay them because it was a Tramp song that the Bee Gees did the other copy for Saturday Night Fever.
Which one was that?
Oh yeah. More Than a Woman.
Okay.
It plays twice in the movie. It plays once where the Tramps are singing it when they're rehearsing, but when they go to do in the finals, the Bee Gees are singing their version of it.
So who wrote the song?
The Tramps.
Okay.
Oh yeah. That's why sometimes when you don't hear from people, they're getting that royalty check, and that check comes in. I remember when I read the book by Maurice White about Earth, Wind, and Fire, and even Philip Bailey's book. He said, I forgot the year, in 2000 something, finally all the entanglements from all Earth, Wind, and Fire records made had been paid. Then they got their first real royalty check from the sales of the records. And it knocked it, because he was having a hard time. He got that $550,000 check from That's the Way of the World. And he was like, whoa. And he says, all those other checks started coming in from all those other songs, because all those songs and everything that they borrowed against when they went on tour, it was all paid off.
And that story is an interesting story, man. I wouldn't download that audio book and listen to it from end to end. And they talk about how they were they worked with that guy who did Sweetback, his son, or Melvin Bell Peoples.
Oh, Melvin Bell Peoples, yeah, they did the soundtrack to Sweetback's A Badass Song.
Right, he wrote him a check. He said, that check is still bouncing, and for a long time, people wasn't checking for them. For a long time, people wasn't checking for Earth, Wind, and Fire. Earth, Wind, and Fire was like underground for a long time, and you had to be heavy to be in the Earth, Wind, and Fire, because this shit was all mystical and so deep. But boy, they dropped that Head to the Sky album. There was no looking back after that one. But that was my shit back when I was a youngster. I played shit today.
But remember one thing about Earth, Wind, and Fire.
What?
Maurice White was the drummer for Ramsey Lewis.
Okay. And
had a huge hit with Ramsey Lewis.
Right.
So that's what sustained him. And he actually made his deals off of that. And Prince's managers were Earth, Wind, and Fire's managers first.
Right.
And he changed the group 2 or 3 times before they got to Head to the Sky. And then when they got to when they did Mighty Mighty and Devotion, that album,
right,
they were through the roof. When they did That's the Way of the World, which was supposed to be a soundtrack, but the movie was so bad,
right? They didn't put it out.
Nah, forget that. They put it out.
But I tell you what, I rocked that sound at 8-track the whole summer of 1975. That was ridiculous. Shit. That was my shit.
But you know what the interesting thing about that?
Evil, what y'all know about the Evil?
You know the interesting thing.
What?
I know the interesting thing about That's the Way of the World, they recorded it. It went platinum once, and then they went back in the studio and recorded it live,
right.
called Gratitude, and they added 4 more songs to it, which sold 5 million copies. And then That's the Way it was sold 30. So they were like, what? But they were spending so much money to make their records at the time because that was, what they did. Maurice then started to understand better production values, and big up to I forgot the gentleman's name, but Stephanie was one of the producers on that made Spirit and did That's the Way of the World and cultivated their sound. So when they did All in All, that album was through the roof. To this day,
I got
we don't even know how many copies they sold.
I got a comment from one of our people. It says, Lonzo, did you know that Bobby Caldwell wrote What You Want to Do for Love for Earth, Wind, and Fire, but they rejected it? Wow.
Yeah, that's in the book.
Wow. I remember when I first heard that song, and it was a big hit. And I would say, that boy white. Bullshit. We was arguing like it's some bullshit. He ain't white. Nah, he ain't white. Okay. And just like Boss Skaggs and a few other people that was people that was back in the 70s or late 70s.
They were session musicians though.
Right.
Those guys were musicians that did background playing, musician playing. Like when Earth, Wind, and Fire went in the studio, the band didn't always go in. It was Maurice White, Philip, maybe Verdine, and a couple other key people. Keyboard player, I can't think of his name right now. But they would go in and lay everything down, and they bring in session musicians to pump it up. Then they brought in the Phoenix horns to lay the top part, because those guys were just that incredible. We're talking about, even when you listen to the Motown sound, the Funk Brothers, they were recording for everybody to a point where Barry Gordy had to pay them not to go record with other people.
Right.
But James Brown, George Clinton, Paul Funkadelic, all use the same musicians, back and forth, because they weren't getting paid like that.
Right.
They really weren't. So, like I said, sometimes folks go and read these books and these stories that these people tell. You go, wow, it's just isn't as easy as the way it is today.
Here it is, and the game ain't changed in 100 years.
Hasn't changed.
The way you get paid as a musician is in the union. When you're a union player, tell you what you do. Go to Disneyland and watch the band, the big ass hats and people at Disneyland playing, and go to the parking lot. You'll see how they get their money. Okay. The musicians union make sure you get paid. All that Disneyland shit, all that Knott's Berry Farm shit, any of those big concert halls, everything is union. Okay. You can't walk in there and union rate. I don't know what it is no more. Because I remember even back in the day, it was $150 a day. Okay. And we talking about per song. I remember I read Ray Parker. Ray Parker. I read. I saw a podcast on Ray Parker. Ray Parker was a bad boy. Ray Parker Jr. Y'all know Ghostbusters. Some other folks.
Yeah,
he was a bad boy.
He got slammed for that.
He was a bad boy.
He got slammed for Ghostbusters.
Can I finish my story, please? Thank you very much.
Go ahead, please. I'm sorry.
Thank you, sir. He was a bad boy back as a teenager, and he was doing all kinds of sessions with everybody. And they didn't pay him no attention for a long time. He didn't know he was supposed to get paid the way he was supposed to get paid until he ran across, I forgot who it was, but somebody started paying him correctly, and he started submitting songs. It was Barry White. Gave him a shot. And because Barry wouldn't give nobody no credit Barry wouldn't give nobody no writer's credits. That was a big thing. To get your credits as a writer, even if you wrote the song, even in hip hop, there's people right to this day that are working with big name producers that don't get credit for what they do. They pay them off and they're done. Okay. And that's always been and depending on how broke you are, it will determine how you're going to respond to that. Some people think they're doing them a favor. Some people realize, I just got ganked. But hey, you signed the contract. And one thing about a contract, when you take your ass to court and you sign that contract, the judge ain't going to do it for you. Okay. No matter how bad it is, the judge ain't going to undo it because you signed that's what you agreed to. Done deal. Hey, Dre, we got to go, man. We got 30 seconds left.
Well, much love to everybody else. To my man Maxwell, I know the question you wanted me to ask today on Legendary Connects. We'll definitely do it next time. Very funny question, but we'll do it next time. Big respect, much love to the Belafonte family. Great loss. We're going to miss him. and we loved him. And don't forget, Uptown Saturday night, get your damn Buford.
Smoke one. I tell you what, I'm telling you, get you some shit, smoke you some that shit, and sit down and watch Uptown Saturday Night. You'll have a ball. I'm not lying. It's funny as hell. In the meantime, folks, Bernadette's gone. This is Lonzo, the Godfather of West Coast hip hop, and my man Dr. Dre, Legendary Connect. See me tomorrow morning, live with Sway in the morning, folks. Bernadette, pop in. Say goodbye, Bernadette. Say goodbye.
Bye, y'all.
All right, that's Bernadette saying bye.
Bernadette.
Dr. Dre, say bye.
Bye.
Lonzo, say bye. We out of here, folks. Peace.